Hey, it's Matt with McGee Farms, and welcome to our garden. Just going to do a little update of where we're at now. We're kind of got busy getting everything in last minute, and are starting to slow down. And now the battle goes from getting everything planted to battling the weeds. And I thought we'd go through what we've accomplished so far and how things are starting up. Start with the first raised bed that we've gotten here. This we've had about a year or so. Strawberries, honeyberries, and blackberries in here. The blackberries are all starting just now to come up. The strawberries have been coming up pretty good. Had quite a few mushrooms come up in here, not something we were really hoping for. And battling weeds has been the biggest thing in here. Got a second bed over here that's kind of set up the same way. Strawberries and raspberries. We've gotten quite a few strawberries off of this one so far. I've got a few coming on now. Raspberries are also starting to come up. I've got another blackberry we're going to add to it, and mulberry here. And one thing, this is the first year we decided to do a few other things, and in these grow bags over here I've got carrots that I planted. And these have really only been in about a week maybe, and they're starting to come up pretty good. This is the first year for grow beds for us, so you know, kind of eager to see how they're gonna turn out. I've got kind of piled up my leftovers over here, the planting stuff. About half the stuff we grew, and the other half we bought from the stores. And I always try to save the little planting containers, and I reuse them for, you know, when we plant our stuff as well. So I've kind of got them stacked here right now as it's time for cleanup after everything's planted. I did these raised beds for our trellis here, and I have watermelons on this one. And what you'll see in a lot of what I've done, we have a sawmill right up the road. Actually, it's like a lumber and molding place. And they have mountains of shavings left over that are free for anyone who wants them. So I just go up, take the tractor up there, and just get scoops at a time and put them down. I did that last year, and it really helped the garden as far as retaining moisture. So I've got to get some more, but that's kind of the start. You can see and a lot of this, the difference in, and these have really only been in maybe a week or less, but you can tell what's growing a lot heavier where it's got it and where it doesn't. Same over here, I've got some pumpkins, and I have some mostly green beans, a few other types of beans in here growing. They'll all grow up on the trellis. This is my Meyer lemon tree. I've had this about 10 years. We take it inside in the winter time, bring it out in the summer, and I'm hoping by the end of this year to get a 365 greenhouse, kind of one we're gonna dig into the ground to where I can grow this and some other citrus trees year round. But we have this, and we have a lime tree, and it's really nice. We get a good bit of lemons off of it, good bit of limes. Especially the limes seem to hit about New Year's Eve where you can pull them off. So, you know, as far as margaritas for New Year's Eve, you got fresh limes, so you can't complain there. Over here I've got zucchini and cucumbers. And then up top here I have sweet peas growing. And both of those will climb up on this trellis really good. Tomatoes in here. I've got some carrots that I started a while back. They didn't really do anything, and it looks like they're actually starting to come up where I thought they had died out. But our tomatoes, these were ones that I put in a little bit early, and I had some these little plastic like bell lids, bell colander or something like that. I picked them up at Dollar Tree and put over them. And so I got these in a little early, so they're growing really good, really strong. These were planted, probably about a month before you're really supposed to plant anything here in northern Missouri. And they made it through with just those little $1 like covers on them. I have garlic, asparagus, and onions over here that just kind of went crazy. I'm actually transplanting a lot of it right now to grow beds that I've made to make room for a few more tomatoes and peppers. They really took off more than I expected to. That's a lot of this garden. It really went a lot crazier than I was expecting this year. But I've got grow bags set up where I've transplanted a lot of the onions. I took some old totes that we had and did the same thing. And with these, I had to take a drill, and I drilled holes in the bottom because at first it was just standing water. Another one over here. This is more, I believe this is more cucumbers and zucchini. I have some blueberries in here. They were going really well, and goats got out. They kind of destroyed my first batch of peas. This is the second batch. And one of these, it's still living, so I'm debating whether I want to plant another one in there or see if it's going to leaf out again. But I have an irrigation system in a lot of what I have, including this, that I'm going to do a video on. I'm actually going to break it down and expand it to cover the entire garden. I've got 3 different systems, but it's solar powered. I've just got a 5-gallon bucket. Excuse me. And I think I'm going to get a larger barrel to hold more water in, but we're going to use this to run the entire garden. Sweet potatoes in these grow bags, and they seem to be doing pretty good. More tomatoes. These I had a little hoop house over, and I planted these in early March, and they have really taken off. I've actually been pruning them back to get less leaves and try to get more fruit, and they're already putting fruit on. As you can see, they're a little crazy already. I mean, right now we're really, I think this is the 15th of May, which April 29th is normally when you plant tomatoes in Missouri. So, you know, really only about 15 days when I should have planted them. And they're already, you know, by getting a jump start, they're already going good. Usually middle July before you start seeing tomatoes, and I've got a feeling we're going to be seeing them on here probably by the end of May, 1st of June. Over here, I've got, excuse me, I had to stop the camera there for a minute. Having allergies giving me some coughing fits this morning. I usually try to get all these in one take if possible. But over in these grow beds here, I've got a lot of cantaloupe, I've got melons. I think I might have a little bit of some cucumbers over here as well. Maybe some squash as well. And a little bit of corn we got planted over in here. And my aquaponics tanks have had some issues with those. We'll talk about that in a minute. Potatoes in our grow bags here, I've been hilling them up. They've been growing really crazy. Nice thing about that, not only getting potatoes, but what's up top on these and on the sweet potatoes, the greens are really good for your livestock as far as forage for them. So when we harvest them, we'll take some of that out and feed it to the goats and the sheep and the horses. Strawberry bed over here. We have getting a lot of strawberries, but we're having a lot of trouble with insects getting in and eating on them. And you can kind of see some of these strawberries. I haven't pulled them off yet, but I got these little things I found on Amazon. I'll put a link to them. I don't know if they're going to make much of a difference or not, but it kind of gets them off the ground, so the insects that are like in the ground that are eating on them And as far as like getting too wet and rotting, it's supposed to help with them. We'll see. This was a I think a 20 pack that I got. 12 pack, I guess, because I'm only counting 12 of them. But pretty easy to put together. We'll see how that works. Other thing with the insects that, issues that I'm having, I got some diatomaceous earth. You can see right there. I also have some neem oil that I've sprayed on some stuff, and a couple other organic, I think it was like a insect soap. It was another organic deal that I tried. Over here we'll go to our broccoli, and that's one you can start early and looking very, very nice, as you can see. And again, you see I got a little diatomaceous earth. That's a little white milky stuff on there. That's just diatomaceous earth. Got peppers in over here. Got some bell peppers. I've got a couple hot peppers. I've got cauliflower. And I had run across this at Home Depot, I think. Some store that I went into had, it was like a 4-pack of all different colored cauliflower. And it's worth a try. Got eggplant, and then we've got our lettuce. And this lettuce has been putting out lettuce faster than we can, basically faster than we can eat it. I've been giving it away to the neighbors. Some of it's on too long and it starts to get a little mushy. You can see where I've kind of thrown it out here. Figure when I get the mower out, just kind of use it to feed the grass and the lawn a little more. And for the most part, that is our garden. Now, we've got our aquaponics tanks that we set up this year. And it's kind of a trial and error, and it's been more error for us. We got 50 trout in that we had in there. We had some freshwater prawns. We had some red claw crawfish. And we pretty much lost all of them. And some of it, the tank that I built, mistake on my part, I guess, somewhat in building the upper tank. It overflowed over on this side and pretty much pumped all the water out of there. I think, looking at it, if I get into my bell siphon, I think I can shorten it down and stop that from happening. If not, I need to figure out some way to build the wall up, which, I've been looking at some ways to do it. I mean, it's run all right. We've had a little bit of some plants in here. Haven't really done that whoopee yet. But I do have some crawfish and some minnows in there that I caught just out of our creek that I'm trying. They're surviving. So I don't know if it's just the fish that I had. Maybe it got too cold for them. Because the other tank, we had a fish kill too. We were able to at least get 10 of the trout out and move them over to our lake. So it wasn't a complete loss. And we've got a few out there as well. The other tank, we'll take a walk over there. And this was more of my my goat's fault than anything else. We had a couple of the baby goats get out. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a crawfish on the line down there climbing up it. But I've got a pump in. It pumps water. Water goes through. The plants kind of oxygenate it, and it drops it back in and puts oxygen in. Usually it flows a little heavier than that. It's about done with its cycle. But the other thing that I did as a backup that apparently makes a lot bigger difference than I thought it would is I got these little solar powered air bubblers with air stones that go down in. Well, when my goats got out, apparently they knocked that line loose. They jumped up here and I didn't catch it. And I kept having fish die, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, once I caught it and put it in, the fish quit dying on me. But at that point, we were down to just a couple to be on the safe side, I did transfer them over to the pond. So I'm going to do a little more research into it. I think we're going to get a couple of bluegill, little bluegill out of the pond. We have one pond that's overpopulated with them right now, and we need to do something. So I'm going to get a few small ones, maybe a small bass or two, and put them in and see how they make. And if they make it, then we may come back, revisit trout. I think the freshwater prawns and the red claw crawfish, which I was really excited about. I think it might have gotten a little too cold, but also when I ordered them, I didn't quite understand what I was ordering, and they were a lot smaller than I thought. And I think if I get them that small in the future, I'm sorry, I had to stop the camera for a minute to yell at a dog walking on my garden. He's a bad boy. But I think in the future, if I get them that small, I'm going to get them a lot earlier in the year and set an aquarium up inside and let them grow a little bigger before I move them out. But I think it could be some temperatures. We got a couple cold nights, or it could just be, you know, water changes as well. But anyway, that's an update on our garden so far. I've got actually a deep water system that I'm going to put in, that we're going to try out this summer as well. I'm going to be putting more of the irrigation system on the automatic timer, and I'll do a full video as I'm building that as well. But it's Matt with McGee Farms. That's where our garden's looking right now. If you enjoy the videos, please consider giving us a thumbs up. Maybe subscribing to the channel, sharing it with friends. If you got friends that are into this kind of content, it's all appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Till next time, have a great day.